Okay, that was fun. So on IM2234, Elephant Gambit, maybe surprise weapon of choice. freegrey2. Flags are new in this version. You see the country flags, clearly inspired by chessworld.net, my server for country flags. I think it was suggested once and laughed at as a suggestion in the old Rec Games Chess Miscellaneous. The Rec Games Chess hierarchy existed before all of the chess forums. He's going to play Queen H5, isn't he? No, Queen H5 was, I think, theory. So this is all right for me. This is I think this is good. This is very good. Maybe it's such a shock when someone plays the Elephant Gambit that people forget the theory, or they haven't actually. It's not something. It's not something prepared for much. So yeah. If I castle Bishop F7 though here, if I play Bishop E6, that might be good for E5 and F5 blockades. So knight E7 and well, I do lose that pawn. If I castle and knight D5 or knight F5, knight F5, immediately threatening to win back a pawn. If F4 he's loosening his position a bit. So okay, he's a pawn up, but I'm threatening to win a pawn back immediately. If F4, okay, what's concrete about this? Knight E3 or rook? What about just rook D8? That's compensation, surely. So things like knight E3, rook G1, rook D4, and then rook D8, C3, queen D3. Well, just going on to C2 here, knight B4 might be good. So rook G1, knight B4, knight B4. What would he do there? Okay, he's giving that one up. He's going to get a kingside attack, I expect. It's worth doing anyway. I can get back to my blockade score. F5. Can I H4? I hope so. There's knight F6. It's not immediately winning. Knight F6 check. So bishop H4, rook D4, knight F6, king H8. If the knight moves, then rook D2, and I'll be on C2. So I want to get my knight F5 in. Maybe king H8. King H8, okay, E6 is vulnerable, but so is C2. There's knight D4 as well coming up, would protect E6 and attack C2. Okay, so knight C2 or rook C2? Rook C2, maybe king B1 or king A3. Any forcing moves there? That could be a good point to look at forcing moves. Well, knight C2. I think the rook taking somehow. So forcing moves here. There's rook F4. There's rook E8. There's A5. There's B5 B4. Then there isn't a check. Okay, so I think, how do I get my other rook in? Rook E8. Knight C7, rook D8. Let's play rook E8. Try and get time for something. So knight C7, rook D8. Try and get in. If the knight moves, then rook D5, rook A5. Oh. Oh. So bishop F2 check. Should I be worried about that? Should I just take bishop F2, king F7, bishop E3? I don't want to lose. Knight C4 is a forcing move, by the way. So rook D8, and knight C4 and rook D3, king A4. Knight C4. I think I want to keep the knight for that. for that idea of knight c4 takes rook d3, king a4. It's almost like a6 for b5. But my king is going to be a discovered check on my king. What about rook d3? Rook d3. So knight c4 is like a king chase, a forcing move which actually is useful for a king chase with tempo. Takes rook d3, king a4. What happens there? There might be b5 check. Okay, he's giving me another move. So I get the king out of here for a sec. So I want to be able to play, ideally, rook d3, knight c4, b5. Knight c4 here takes rook d3, king a4, rook a2 is it now available, king b5, a6. So knight d3, b takes rook d3, king a4, rook a2, king b5. Isn't a6 mate? I'll try it. Rook d3. So there's rook a2 here. No, it's not mating. Rook a2. I'm forcing moves. King b5. There's rook a5 there. There's rook a5. I still hate Kotov. I still hate Kotov. But it was okay. Some forcing moves, but that wasn't emphasised by Kotov. Please don't accuse me of liking Kotov. I'm just taking a very small subset of Kotov, the idea of the forcing sequences, which sometimes, okay, you can label it what you want, forcing variations, you can label it docking computer. There's huge risks, you know, Pat to Caesar's check, Pat to Plays check. Many of you said that in that video. That's the expression Fisher used, that sometimes, basically, forcing moves are not good. Just because you see a check, which is a very good example of a clear forcing move, a check, it's not always good. It just happens to be good in this position, knight c4 check, because he's just left control of a2 there. By moving the rook, the weakness of the last move comes in as well as forcing moves. The weakness of the last move, so it's a forcing move, a check relating to a2 being weak. So a6 wouldn't work here, king c5. I would have to see rook a5 here. a6, king c5, there's no b6 because king takes c6, but rook a5 does it. Comments or questions on YouTube? 2 title plays today. I'm pleased with this morning. Thanks very much.